Patty. Well, 2 weeks into a new school year, kids are finally getting back into the swing of things. So now it's time for parents to find their own meal plans. Registered dietitian Tami Schiltz is back sharing some tips on how to get back to you, making yourself a priority once again. Good morning, Tami.
Good morning.
And you were saying that it's really important for parents to kind of take a step back and do some planning before they take this deep dive into a better diet.
Right. I actually want to be able to give parents some homework.
Okay.
Kind of shift it a little bit because I want them to have this plan, not just a plan, but a vision. And so I really want to start with that and have them kind of create what that healthy life looks like for them, but also their family. So I want them to, get out a pen and paper, write down my ideal healthy life, and then start to paint that picture of what not only looks like, but what it feels like. And I think that's the more important thing, because really, like, our thoughts become things. So I want them to, envision themselves grocery shopping and what that's like, to have all these healthy foods in their cart now that they're craving them and their kids are liking them too. And again, this is like your ideal world,
like
right?
Like a vision board for your diet. I love it.
Yeah, in a sense. And really, going further with exercise, like, now that you love physical activity, and you have energy to do it, what does that look like? What does it feel like? And I think once you start to cast that vision, you're going to get a lot more positive energy towards your goals and what you want to do. But so often we get lost in here's my meal plan, here's my workout plan, and then we get there and now what? And it doesn't factor in real life. Yeah. And so I think if you actually allowed yourself the time to just sit down when your kids are doing their homework, maybe you do yours, and write that out and kind of map it out, what this would look like for you and your family and how it would feel now that you have energy to play with your kids, all that kind of stuff. And so it really starts there, is before the meal plans, before the workouts, cast that vision.
So changing the mindset, kind of writing down how you want to see you and your family. What are some good kind of next steps? Like, how do you bridge the gap from that mindset switch to actually shopping in the grocery store to exercising?
Right. And it really is, when you're doing this, you're kind of creating your map. And the more detailed you get, you're putting in, your destination into your GPS, basically. And so when you're writing out this plan, you're now giving yourself the directions on how you want to get there. So when you're starting to think about those meal plans and you've thought about the foods that you want to eat, your family wants to eat, you can start going out and searching for that stuff and creating that master plan before you go to the grocery store. But again, envisioning, you don't want it to be stressful. So envision it being that way. Like, this is stress-free, or my family's eating these foods again. I know it sounds kind of woo-woo, but trust me, the people that have
what have you seen from people who've started this? Because this is something that you don't think of. We think of, like, diet and exercise as, like, all right, like, calories in, calories out. So what are your clients kind of saying?
Right, and that's so spot on, is because we think of diet and exercise, and we forget that the mind piece is such a huge part of that. And really, what I tell people is, you get, what you focus on, you find. And so if you're focusing on, like, feeling your best, those other parts, the diet and exercise, are going to come along with that. But too often people just get lost in those types of things. And so I think it's really important for them to really focus on that mindset and get really clear on what it is that they want and how they want to feel. And from there, things just get easier. So the mind piece, that is a really important part of the puzzle. It should not be forgotten.
Sounds like the very first step. Thank you so much. I love it.
Thank you.
Tami, we really appreciate you sharing your wisdom with us. And remember, there is still a half hour of news ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Sunday. Next, we are running through the morning's top stories. And only a select few people had the chance to see a new musical in Madison this weekend. But if you missed it, our Michael Bruno will fill you in. He heads backstage to Comet Boy to talk with the show's writer. We'll have that just ahead.